Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, the boys are buzzing over this tag team debut at Reality of Wrestling. See, it's the first time that we're gonna team up here in Texas. And when you told me about all the hot girls, the good food, and the tag team competition, we've been hype.
Everything is bigger in Texas, not just including the girls, but including the competition. We are the first and only, and also not to mention probably the best tag team in all of WWE ID. So what makes you think being here at Reality of Wrestling will make anything any different? Hondos.
Coming all the way live with H-Town pride. It's the incredible spectacle and boy we apply. It's gonna be a rough ride, so button your coat. It's the road, don't you know, bro, this ain't no joke. You got 4 ring posts with 3 ring ropes. 2 better for 1 win and they going for broke. So if you don't know, let me dumb it down. It's the Reality of Wrestling, they the talk of the town.
From Dallas, Texas, she is the it girl, Maya World!
We are back with another edition of Reality of Wrestling Glory. Last week was so good, Sam, and we had to do it once again. And this time we're getting started with Maya World and Mia Friday.
The women's division always heating up here at Reality of Wrestling to the absolute best. Gonna go at it here tonight at Glory. Maya World, a former Reality of Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champion.
And she's facing a former Reality of Wrestling Women's Champion, Sammy.
And her opponent, from the best day of the week, she is the Weekend Wonder Child, Mia Friday!
Mia Friday making her first appearance here at Reality Wrestling for the first time in 6 months, Sammy.
There's been some time between Mia Friday here at the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena for Reality of Wrestling. I know that she's been brushing up, she's taking some courses, trying to further her education. But Mia Friday back in her home here at Reality of Wrestling.
Back in her home indeed, and hoping to start rebuilding that road to a potential women's championship opportunity as more opportunity arises here with Glory, as the talent has just gotten so massive here for the entire roster at Reality of Wrestling. More opportunities are abound for people like Mia Friday, for people like Maya World. And you know, Alex Gracia is watching all of these matches very closely as she is anticipating Kaya Dream, the #1 contender who won last week. Maybe one of these two could be the next in line, Sammy.
The road never stops for the champions here at Reality of Wrestling. And look at that nice show of respect from Mia Friday. And oh, well,
the
not reciprocated.
It Girl has never been about respect, Sammy.
Well, it doesn't have to be respect. She's gotten the job done. Again, a former Road Tag Team Champion in the women's division.
A championship she never lost, and she'll never let you forget that fact.
And why should she, Kirby? One of the best in our women's division. And talk about an opportunity to take out a former Raw Women's Champion in Mia Friday.
And definitely trying to find success in singles action is Maya World. But you've got to imagine how much it's weighing on her. Oh, quick cover here from Maya. This could be, almost got her right away.
I'm very curious to see exactly how Mia Friday is going to perform here after taking a sabbatical, if you will, from Reality of Wrestling. But this looks like the former women's champion we know and love so far.
Into the cover after that neck breaker. Could Maya World be put away? No. And you talk about her coming back here, Sammy. I've got to ask you, how much does ring rust really play a factor into Mia Friday's return after 6 months?
Well, the thing about performing in that ring is that no matter how much you train, no matter how much you practice, there's nothing like getting the job done in front of these fans actually. So we won't really know until we see how this match develops. Not only will we not know, I don't even think Mia Friday knows how she's going to do.
You saw the Death Valley driver right into that elbow. Maya World has always been one to be in your face and to stand on business. And again, now you've got to imagine too, Maya World coming off of a championship loss where she tried to regain the championship in that tag team division. How much do you think that is weighing on her mind?
Look, you can't look in the rearview mirror. You got to look through that front windshield. There's a reason why the front of the car is bigger than the rear window. You got to look forward. You got to progress. And look at Maya World showing exactly that, bringing the stomp.
Well, we talked about the champion, Alex Gracia, taking a look at the entirety of the division. We know that she's awaiting Kaya Dream after that incredible triple threat matchup last time here on Reality of Wrestling Glory. Oh, and Maya World trying to make her case to be next in line, and what a way to do it if she can pin Mia, but not able to get the victory here yet.
I appreciate that Mia Friday wanted to return here to Reality of Wrestling, but this is not going to be a walk in the park. Having her first match back against a talent like Maya World. Oh, you can see exactly why right there.
The it girl, not just of Reality of Wrestling, but also Texas, went for that senton, and Mia Friday got out of the way. And here comes the former champion trying to unload, but Maya World, oh, she gets caught.
Mia Friday always bringing that tenacity. That's why she's being able to have so much success at such a young age.
One of the youngest champions in all of Reality of Wrestling history was Mia Friday last year. And that got her the win of the award for Woman of the Year, Sammy, for 2024.
When we talk about it, I mean, with as stacked of a division as the women's roster here is, oh God!
Stacked or not, that cutter will take out anybody, and Maya World almost takes it. What a kick out from Mia Friday.
Doesn't matter how many trophies, how many accolades you get, that might just take you right out, but I can't believe Mia Friday able to get the shoulder up after that.
Got the shoulder up, but not trying to get Mia Friday up.
My
and look at the strength of Mia. And now she rolls her up. Look at this, the shoulders are down. Mia Friday, she took it.
Just like that.
Here is your winner, Mia Friday!
After 6 months off, Mia Friday still had the wherewithal to pick up a victory in such sudden fashion, Sammy.
I don't think Maya World can believe it. You asked the question, Kirby. I don't think there's any ring rust. On the Friday Night Delight, Mia Friday.
We got a lot more action here for you at Reality of Wrestling Glory, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got ID action coming up next, and NXT versus Reality of Wrestling in our main event.
Eliana here at Raw Glory, and my special guest here tonight is NXT Superstar Jacy Jayne and one half of the Reality of Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champion G-Money Gigi Ray. Now next week, Gigi, you're going to be facing off against Jacy Jayne, and you truly believe that you should be a part of the next level. And what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, I think I should be a part of the next level. I am the resident best female competitor here at Reality of Wrestling, and I have been for a long time. So next week, I'm just going to prove that I belong at your level, maybe above your level.
Now, Jacy, you just heard her response with her facing you off next week. Now, do you think that she's up for the challenge to face you?
It's a great question. Are you up for the challenge to face someone like me? On a higher level, more fans, world known, multi-time champion. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. I've seen your work. It's impressive. You have a lot of potential. But can you actually get the job done? I don't think so. Not against me. Maybe your little people here, your little no names here, sure. Not against me.
Now, you just heard Jacy Jayne's response. She doesn't think that you're capable of being at the next level, but you have made some accomplishments here at Reality of Wrestling, and go ahead and name a few.
I am the most successful international prospect here at Reality of Wrestling. Moved here 4 years ago from Canada, left everything behind. And I've been the Diamonds Champion, the only woman to hold both Diamonds Champion and the Tag Team Champion. Traveled to Japan. I've been all over the world too, honey.
Booker T said himself that I am the future of professional wrestling. And next week, you're gonna find out exactly why.
So now with her response, are you going to?
Let me educate you, honey. I'm a two-time former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, one of the longest reigning tag team champions in history. Not only that, I'm one of the most featured females in NXT history, on more episodes than any other female ever. I've been up here for 4 years. So I'm glad you have all this confidence. I love the confidence. I love that you think you can beat me. And I want you to keep that mentality. I want you to come into that match thinking that, because I'm going to prove to you that you're just not.
Jacy, I know how good you are. You're great. You said it yourself. You've been in NXT for 4 years, successful tag champion, multi-time tag champions. But you are wrestling at Reality of Wrestling. This is my home. This is where G Money was made. And I will be damned if you come into my house and think you are better than me, better than anyone else here. This is the premier independent promotion in the country. Booker T put his heart and soul into this, and his heart and soul is in me. I am the heart and soul of Reality of Wrestling. So you better bring everything you have next week, because I will leave everything on the line to beat you next week.
I don't need to be here. I came because I want to be here. I'm on the Jayne World Tour 2025, NXT, TNA, Reality of Wrestling. I can do it all, and I can do it all better than you.
Well, now, Rogue Nation, next week at Rogue Glory, we will have one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Gigi Ray, going up against NXT Jacy Jayne. I hope to see you there next week.
Do you want to become a professional wrestler? Booker T's Reality of Wrestling training facility in Texas City, Texas is a 15,000 square foot facility with over 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows where our students will showcase their skills in front of a live studio television audience. In the back, a full weight room complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers, along with a full staff and personnel running the day-to-day operations. Reality Wrestling provides everything you need to become a well-rounded professional wrestler, learning under the two-time WWE Hall of Famer, Booker T. Referees, ring announcers, and commentators. At Reality Wrestling, we just don't teach you how to be a professional wrestler, but how to be an elite sports entertainer. This is the Reality of Wrestling.
What are you doing right now, Sammy?
I'm swiping right, Kirby, because two of the best athletes, two of the best looking boys in the WWE ID program making their presence felt at Reality of Wrestling Glory.
Well, we have seen these guys not only all over the independent scene, but most recently on WWE Evolve. And, you know, these two have definitely made a name for themselves. They're impressive. I'll give you that, Sammy.
The premier tag team of WWE ID, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, bringing the smoke here to Reality Wrestling.
What we saw last week, we had WWE ID action between Sam Holloway and Jones. Now this time we're going to be seeing them in tag team action. It looks like Fly Def is joining us here from the crowd. And we know Swipe Right has had a lot of experience as the first real, if you will, ID tag team. And now we're seeing Marcus Mathers and Aaron Rourke putting their talents together to potentially make a name for themselves.
I don't know if I exactly understand the response that fans continue to give to these two others. Marcus Mathers making a name for himself in the WWE ID program. But if Rourke and Mathers want to stand a chance, they better be on the same page because Swipe Right are a well-oiled machine, Kirby.
That is the one thing that I will definitely agree on. They definitely have the experience behind them. But Aaron Rourke and Marcus Mathers did not just get ID'd by accident, if you will. Marcus Mathers making a name for himself, working 3 to 4 times a week, all kinds of different promotions. We're going to be seeing Aaron Rourke get things started against Ricky Smokes. Ricky Smokes telling him to swipe right. Oh, there you see Aaron Rourke not one to fit in with everybody else and just being himself, swiping left on Ricky Smokes.
How could you possibly consider swiping left on either Brad Baylor or Ricky Smokes? Swipe right, the premier tag team of the WWE ID program. And there you see Ricky Smokes showing exactly why. Yeah, you swipe right.
Have you swiped right on anybody, Sammy?
Well, I tried to on my MySpace page, but it didn't work. I'm not sure exactly if I understand how it works.
I don't think MySpace was around when that was going on. As Aaron Rourke here already taking it to Smokes. We've seen this talent, like I said, not only around the independent scene, but most recently on WWE Evolve as well. And there you see the flamboyancy of Aaron Rourke on full display, never one to be uncomfortable with himself. Always making sure that he lives his best life.
Aaron Rourke's a bit of a unique cat. He tags into Marcus Mathers. Talk about a unique tandem. Rourke and Mathers, this is an enigma that maybe Swipe Right's going to have to figure out.
Ricky Smokes, very smart to get back into his corner to tag in Brad Baylor. Now, Brad is the one that we've seen here more at Reality of Wrestling than Ricky Smokes. And you see right there already saying swipe right over and over again. They're all about that acceptance from the ladies.
If you want to make your life right.
Cover here for Marcus Mathers. That could be it, but no.
If you want to make your life right, you're going to swipe right on Brad here. I believe there was a bit of a tip between Brad Baylor and Marcus Mathers. Marcus Mathers liking all of one of Brad Baylor's girlfriend's pictures on Instagram. I know he was offended by that because he wasn't liking any of Brad Baylor's pictures.
Do you think that's what this is stemming from, rather than the ID program? Them fighting for position to who could be the first ID champion?
Look, I'm very close to both Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes.
You're close to swipe right.
Of course. Everybody who's a designated swipe right individual has to stick together, Kirby. Oh my God, but Marcus Mathers though.
Marcus Mathers getting into this still and just taking Brad Baylor to school, it looks like. Oh! This is what that experience of working 3 to 4 times a week will do for you, as Marcus Mathers just looks to be incredibly sharp as he's going up to the top. And look at this, Ricky Smokes though, getting involved and creating a distraction. And now this right here is classic swipe right, Sammy.
There's a reason why these two got WWE ID'd. Look at that.
Cover here to end it all, but Mathers gets the shoulder up.
Smokes and Baylor working like a well-oiled machine, picking their moments, distracting the referee, and just like that, right on top of Marcus.
Now we know the WWE ID program has been all about the success of these individuals, but it's never really been about the tag team, so it's very interesting to see these two come in together and both of them get ID'd as well, Sammy.
Well, it's all about the tag team division now.
Cover here on Mathers once again, but a quick kick out.
And the reason it's about tag team wrestling is because Smokes and Baylor are now on the scene. Swipe right makes everything about them, and you can see why here and now.
Now we see another tag here to the self-proclaimed evil Matt Damon. Oh, and swipe right showing that chemistry now into the cover one, but a kick out once again from Mathers. That right there is tenacity. That's what that tells me about Marcus Mathers.
Brad Baylor, though, more talented than the talent Mr. Ridley. Nice suplex. That's right, swipe right.
And they love that showmanship. They just love to show up and show out And, you know, I tried to talk to Brad Baylor before the show and, you know, asking him how his WWID career is going. And you know what he told me? He said that his ID career is going great because he has added 8 more girls to his roster.
That's it?
You know how terrible that is?
Well, I know it's awful because now he's got to schedule out his Mondays and his Fridays. I mean, it's a very difficult thing. Brad Baylor has got such a stock schedule. He's got a team with Swipe Right, and he's got to figure out all the time for all these girls. It's a hard life, Kirby.
I meant more so it's terrible that he's considering having a roster, as right now Ricky Smokes is distracting the referee, and Marcus Mathers in a bad spot. As we see another tag here to now Brad Baylor. Oh!
I mean, as impressive as Brad Baylor is, I do think Smokes might have 2 girlfriends up on his tag team partner, so they're trying to even the field here.
You don't find that problematic at all?
Of course it's problematic. I don't know how they're going to concentrate on their tag team efforts when they got so many girlfriends.
Well, right now Marcus Mathers is definitely being problematic. Force swipe right as the crossbody connects. And now look at Aaron Rourke on the apron. He is getting fired up. He wants in on this match.
This madman needs to make the tag.
The Pride of Philly gets the tag to the dime piece.
Oh, no,
and here comes the dime piece. Aaron Rourke is unloading.
Watch the face, Rourke.
Aaron Rourke. Whoa, look at the athleticism. Drop kick and right back onto his feet. Shining bright like a diamond is Aaron Rourke right here in his Reality of Wrestling debut.
Rourke's got to shine up. He's got a face only a mother could love. Not like Brad Baylor. Oh!
Runs right into the corner, does Rourke. And this could be all she wrote for Swipe Right. Oh!
Oh my God, that was so close.
Last second kick out right there from Brad Baylor. And now Aaron Rourke going from the top. Split moonsault. That's going to be it. Aaron Rourke for the victory. No!
Look at that. That's what tag team wrestling's all about. Bringing the smoke, saving his tag team partner.
Marcus Mathers getting involved now too.
Now come on,
and the fight on the outside continues. Oh, roll up here from Brad Baylor. Is that going to do it? Oh, kick out. Only a 2. Woo. The action has gotten so fast and furious here. As now Brad Baylor, he got a tag. Both of Swipe Right are in. And here we go. Sammy, it's time for the Super Swipe. 1, 2, and Swipe Right does it!
In life, Kirby, you can go left or you can do the right thing and swipe right. Brad Baylor and bringing the smoke. Swipe Right dominating once again in WWE ID.
Incredible matchup for sure. And so that you can just imagine that the confidence is going to go even higher through the roof for these guys.
I don't know how you get more confident. Oozing. They've got every gift you can imagine. The sky is the limit for Swipe Right.
You can see there already the WWE ID talent getting in the face of the Reality of Wrestling champions. And that's not going to do it here for us here at Glory, because we've got more clashes coming for us later tonight in the form of Wes Lee and Eli Knight.
You know, I used to consider myself the heart and soul of Reality of Wrestling. You hang around somewhere long enough, you get tapped into the vein of what's going on. And that cross that I've been bearing has been heavy lately. And I realize I'm not the heart and soul. I might just be the anxiety, the depression of what's going on around here. Because I got friends coming up to me and saying, you know, they just turned 35. They're thinking about hanging up the boots. And I got trainees coming up to me and they're wondering what they need to do to get a shot, what they need to do to get an opportunity. And they're all feeling the same thing, that opportunity may not be coming. And I don't have the heart to tell them that we might have closed their door, opening up the door for somebody that couldn't find the building without an address. And it pisses me off, but I get it. We all are trying to get the same opportunity. We're all trying to get seen. That's why we keep bringing in all these ID guys to put them on the shows, right? So I got Freedom Ramsey. That's who they asked me if I wanted to work. And Freedom, I want to be very clear. There's a lot of jealousy about the ID situation. I'm not jealous. I don't want what you have. I'd rather die on my hill than be a king on yours. But the fact that I have to wrestle a guy who's made a whole personality over not having a phone number changed pisses me off. It's stupid. And so, yeah, you want to come down here and you want to be ID'd. Well, in this building, you might be ID'd, but you have no identity. 9300 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway is my house. So you call it a showcase. I say I'm making my case. You think it's a spotlight shining down on you. I say that spotlight starts to zero in and it becomes a red dot on your chest. And you are in the target, the sights of the precision tactician, Clay Roberts. It's fitting that it's called Glory, because I'm going to take yours and find mine.
From Orlando, Florida, weighing in at 195 pounds, he is high like no other, Eli Knight!
Welcome to the main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As I can tell you, even though we just got started, that this is going to be one of the biggest main events we are ever going to see on Road Glory, Sammy.
Reality Wrestling Glory. Kicking off hot and strong, bringing WWE NXT to the house here in this main event. Talk about pressure for Eli Knight.
Eli Knight, it could very well be like looking into a mirror into the future.
And his opponent, from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 190 pounds, WWE NXT Superstar Wes Lee!
You know, at one point in his career, Wes Lee was looked at a lot like Eli Knight, a potential standout from his tag team, the Rascals. Went on to make a career and a name for himself as a single star and became an incredibly successful NXT North American champion. For Eli Knight, the single success hasn't quite happened yet, but maybe that changes tonight, Sammy.
The pressure is on Eli Knight to prove that he's ready for the next step against a man that you gotta believe he patterned a lot of his career after in Wes Lee.
The main event is set. It is NXT versus Reality of Wrestling. And here we go.
Wes Lee versus Eli Knight. As you brought it up, Kirby, like looking in a mirror, Eli Knight trying to break out of the pack. Rally wrestling fans know Eli Knight from starting out with Culture Inc. tag team wrestler, trying to break out as a single star. And what an opportunity here in this main event against NXT Superstar Wes Lee.
Wes Lee finding success, as you mentioned, as part of the Rascals. Former tag team champions in dang near every promotion that they competed in. And look at Eli Knight. We talk about him being disrespectfully athletic, managing to break free already from Wes Lee. This whole match might actually just end up being disrespectfully athletic as a whole, Sammy.
I mean, talk about frequent flyer miles. Both these guys, Wes Lee and Eli Knight, have them and then some. Not only similar career paths, but similars in styles in that ring. It's very interesting to see who gets the advantage in the early going of this matchup.
Now, just again, looking at these two potentially just being mirror images of each other.
Look at that. Nice stalemate.
As you see that stare down right there, much to the pleasure of the Road Nation. What do you think Eli Knight brings to the table that Wes Lee has never seen before?
Well, the fact that Eli Knight has got that hunger, has got that drive, trying to break through that glass ceiling, and that's what Road Glory is all about. I mean, Wes Lee, for all intents and purposes, he's made it to the big dance. He's on WWE NXT. He's gotten the recognition that he sought for so many years. Eli Knight's poised to try and grab that same recognition, and he can maybe achieve that here tonight against Wes Lee.
Eli Knight definitely trying to position himself as one of the Row Nations here. Row Nation stars, I should say. And, you know, maybe there's a chip on his shoulder looking at all these people coming from NXT, coming from TNA, to try and make a name for themselves here at Reality of Wrestling. Do you think maybe Eli Knight feels like he's defending home turf here?
Oh my God!
There's that athleticism that we talked about, and maybe that right there is something that Wes Lee hasn't seen before.
If you're able to impress and show something that Wesley's never seen before, that's the task. But
Over
look
here,
at that.
roll through, but no, Wesley able to break free. And look at that, Eli Knight saying, I almost got you.
I'll forgive you for mixing it up, but look at the athleticism of both these men.
I guarantee you if we were to play this match at normal speed, or I should say at half speed, it would look at normal speed for the rest of us, Sammy.
As Eli Knight, you blink and you're going to miss something. It's one of the most anticipated matchups here we've had at Row Glory.
Wes Lee now showing us the kind of skill that managed to get him the North American Championship, and up until recently was one of the longest reigning champions, but that right now means nothing to Eli Knight.
Eli Knight put it on a show here. He knows that all the eyes are on this matchup here at Row Glory. And Wes Lee to the outside, gonna take a breather. Do you think that Wes Lee expected this kind of offense from Eli Knight? I mean, I gotta believe he had to.
Well, he had to have been doing his homework. He said so on social media, that people said you should watch this guy before you wrestle him. And now maybe paying his respect is Wes Lee to Eli Knight. Maybe now he knows exactly what he's in for.
Wes Lee with the extent of a show of respect. Will Eli take it?
And the handshake accepted by Eli Knight. Oh! That was all a trap!
Yeah, I was about to say, finally nice to see that that went the way we would hope so, but just after Wes Lee showing Eli Knight what it takes to make it to that next level.
A trick that I guarantee you Wes Lee may have fallen for in the past. Now showing Eli Knight exactly what NXT is all about. I hope you heard that, Sammy, because that was a statement right there. There's a stark difference between me and you. As now Wes Lee gets caught with that super kick, and I think he might think he's back in Orlando.
Oh, God!
Manages to knock Eli off balance.
Wes Lee just turned up the volume on Eli Knight. A lot of confidence from Eli Knight in the early going, but I think Wes Lee just showed there are levels to this.
And there's definitely levels to that kind of stop that Wes Lee just delivered to the outside.
Right to the small of the back, referee right there to check on Eli, but...
And you saw Wes Lee there on the outside saying he's barely breaking a sweat against Eli Knight.
I think Wes Lee proved a long time ago, as you say, former North American champion.
Cover here from Wes Lee, but a quick kick out from Eli.
Wes Lee is a lot more than just a finesse guy. He can fly with the best of them, but he knows how to change his game plan, and he is taking out Eli Knight.
And at this point, I just hope that Eli Knight can stay focused. We know his recent issues with Eric Lockhart have got to still be in the back of his head.
Not just
Speaking of the back of his head, that's where Wes Lee's now going after.
Not just his issues with Lockhart, the fact that Eli Knight might have been taken out. He's lucky to even be competing still. Look at that! Shade to the two-time Hall of Famer.
Not sure how smart that is doing it in Booker's house.
So many athletes that have performed here, Reality Wrestling looked up to Booker T. Now with the lights on, bright Wes Lee in the House of Reality Wrestling belt.
Oh!
But don't count out Eli Knight just yet.
An enziguri from out of nowhere, as Eli Knight could have just knocked the lights out of Wes Lee. And now Wes Lee, trying to fire back. But here comes Eli. Oh!
You talk about the quickness of Eli Knight, but Wes Lee's right there. Look right. Oh, goes over with the cover, but is driving those knees.
Right into the ribs. He knows how important the ribs are if you want to have a dynamic offense like Eli. And right into the cover. A very weak kick out from Eli Knight than we're used to seeing, Sammy. The damage could have been done.
I mean, Eli Knight is in a bad way.
And this is our main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the second edition of Raw Glory. As we know, next week we're going to see Gino Medina defend the Texas Championship against Josiah Jean. We could be in the light of having new champions all around for Reality of Wrestling, as right now Eli Knight is trying to take down a former champion in his own right.
Eli Knight almost fighting for his life here. He needs to get away from Wes Lee and try to build some momentum, and Wes Lee doing everything he can to put a stopper to any of that.
Now Wes Lee maybe looking, I think he was looking for the cardiac kick.
Eli had to move up, but can he capitalize? Eli back to his feet, but no, look at that.
Right into the midsection once again does Wes Lee go after. And a smart plant. Oh!
Good God!
He bounced right into that clothesline.
Eli just turned Wes Lee out. And that's not the break that Eli Knight needed.
He's using his own momentum against him, Sammy. And both guys trying to get back onto a vertical base. Wes Lee, again, look at this. He got caught. And he got planted.
Oh no, Wes Lee in the drop.
Oh! Disrespectfully athletic moonsault into the cover, but not a victory.
Drop zone connect, 2 count only for Eli Knight. But Eli is up. Eli is fired up.
He's thinking Superman press, but he's got to set up Wes Lee. Scoop slam connects. Center of the ring. Eli Knight could be just moments away from the biggest victory of his career.
He's grabbing at that abdomen. So much has been taken out of Eli and given enough wherewithal for Wes Lee to try and put a stopper.
Oh, look at this, trying to go in for that feint kick. But Eli Knight, poison Rana! Planted him right on his head!
Where's Eli Knight getting this from?
That is how much this victory would mean for Eli Knight. Now from the top, trying to set up.
Hey, Eli.
Wait a second.
I'm in Orlando, I'm on my way to see you, but I guess those ribs healed right up for a match with Wes Lee. Huh. Saw an interesting vehicle leaving your place, though. Looks like while you were out focusing on you, Daddy got sick again. You keep focusing on Eli Knight. Eric Lockhart will keep an eye on your family. I'll make sure everything here goes smoothly.
It looks like Eric Lockhart.
That is not okay, but God, we have still have a match going on.
Wes Lee taking advantage of the distraction, as we heard from Eric Lockhart. Another cardiac kick into the cover to win the main event, and Wes Lee picks it up.
I mean, we talk about distractions. Wes Lee, I mean, a huge victory. This was such a great matchup, and I cannot believe what Eric Lockhart just did. Not just interrupting this matchup, but is he at the hospital that Eli Knight's, his father's at? Is that what we're supposed to understand here?
I think that's exactly what Eric Lockhart said, as Eli Knight was just moments away from potentially the biggest win in his career against an NXT superstar. And Wes Lee goes and takes advantage of the distraction to win in our main event here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be soul-crushing for Eli Knight.